Are you black, African American, or Negro? That's the question I posed to you. I asked that question because that question was posed to me with a lady named Beulah Shepherd. And the reason Miss Shepherd comes to mind, because she died some years back, is because of all this nonsense going on with Trump, the un-American supposed president. His latest fiasco is that he's disrespecting the First Amendment, those peacefully protesting America's mistreatment of black men in this country, and now the NFL and NBA players and their allies who support the movement brought to light by Colin Kaepernick by kneeling, again, peacefully during the playing of the national anthem. And I would respectfully suggest to you that Colin Kaepernick is an American as an American can be. But this reminds me of the lesson that Miss Shepherd taught me. And back when I ran for city council in 2003, I had not been elected yet, and Miss Shepherd was running for office as well, and we were at a candidates forum, and Miss Shepherd asked everyone in the room, if you're a black or you're an African American, raise your hand. And there was something about what Miss Shepherd said and how she said it that made me know not to raise my hand, even though at that moment in time I considered myself black. So Miss Shepherd goes on to talk about how we Negroes, she was referring to herself and others like her, we Negroes were willing to die for what was right. We Negroes fought to get you the rights that you blacks and African Americans have. We were lynched, we were arrested, and we were willing to die. We were willing to be arrested. We were willing to be hosed. We were willing to strike and not get paid. We were willing to boycott buses. We were willing to not pick up trash to make America revisit how it treats black people. And so she said we Negroes knew that we were stronger united than divided. She said there were more black lawyers and doctors and professors to the percentage of black people then than there are now. She says the problems with you blacks and you African Americans is you take for granted the struggle of the Negroes. And so I will always be a Negro because to be a Negro meant something. And that reminded me of when I was in college and I was taking a bunch of African American studies classes at the University of Houston. And my grandmother, when I told her grandmother, she would always refer to herself as Negro. Grandmother, why are you calling yourself Negro? And she would say, doggone it, sweetheart, we worked hard to be called Negro. They used to call us a lot worse. And they used to do a lot worse things to us. And I wasn't prepared for what my grandmother was sharing with me at that time. But I am now prepared. And so I'm proud to say that in 2017, and as early back as 2003, I've literally referred to myself as a Negro because I am willing to stand for stuff because I don't want to fall for anything. And I would respectfully suggest to you that if every NFL player would kneel during the playing of the national anthem, the NFL would stop. It would stop. But we have too many people who've made it and who don't care about the people that they left behind or the people that they achieved greater things than. And my grandmother told me if the only thing that you do in your life is fight to make your life better for yourself, then you've lived a miserable life. At the end of the day, people, if we've worked hard and we've succeeded, then we have obligations to bring those who are less fortunate along with us, as many of them as they can. And we need a movement. And I'm going to end with this. When Dr. King was marching for black rights, he wasn't popular. There was one preacher in Houston who was willing to let him come to his church, Reverend Bill Lawson. All the rest of the preachers weren't. So Martin Luther King was a lot larger in death than he ever was in life. But it takes courage to do the right thing. And so I'm asking you, everyone, black people and allies, to please stand with what Colin Kaepernick is doing. And I'm asking black people specifically, are you black, African American, or are you Negro? And I'm here to tell you that I'm a Negro.